here. I just got home last night, and as I texted you, man, my manager, Gianni Adams, and I getting together to do a little instructional video for you. I look at your kit, and I just want to show you a few things before we even really get started on the playing side. So one of the things that I noticed about your kit is that you had your ride cymbal and your crash cymbal way up high. Now, when I was in my 20s, I set my kit up like that, but as I've gotten older, I brought the cymbals down because I just didn't want to put that much strain on my shoulders. And my shoulders will get tired from just reaching up on those cymbals all the time. So I'm adjusting back the whole kit. It's important, the drum kit, to where you feel comfortable before you play. That's why there's sound check, that's why you set up and get used to how you like to have your kit, and then you, in your situation, it stays that way because I assume you're the only one playing the drums. So you can kind of watch me, and I'm going to make some adjustments on the cymbals. As you can see, I've already lowered them, and I'm still going to adjust them a bit. I'm going to lower the hi-hat because I noticed your hi-hat was pretty high, and I'm going to bring it down to where it's comfortable. So everything is comfortable. That's critical. Then that makes it fun because you're not having to strain to play. So you can watch me while I do this. Hi-hat first. Right there, my arm is comfortable. It's not up here or it's not down there. It's right here where it's comfortable. Again, I'm going to go to the left crash. And right now, for me, this is tilted toward me a little bit. I'm going to flatten it just a little bit. So that's the next move we're going to make. And I only moved it one notch. But then now it's comfortable. Now it's right there. You got access left or right. And the left crash, you can crash sometime with your left hand. All the crashing, usually with the bass drum. Whenever you crash the cymbals, you want the bass drum to support it, to punctuate it. Just by itself, it doesn't sound the same. Again, these are just little tidbits that I'm giving you so you get to understand the reason why we do it that way. Now I'm going to move the snare because I want it to be parallel with that first tom. And it's a little bit to the left here, but that's all right because I want to be able to make three sides of a rectangle, of a quadrilateral, if I can say that. Yeah. And now I'm going to go to my ride cymbal, which is the cymbal on the right. And I'm going to adjust that a little bit. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit because I don't want it to be too close to tom too, because I don't want to hit it accidentally or hit my hand accidentally because I've cut myself doing that. You also want to make sure that all the wing nuts and anything that you turn, not necessarily the toms, but the wing nuts on the cymbals and any adjustments that you make on the hardware, you make that tight because you don't want stuff moving when you're pounding on the drums, because I know you like to hit them. I don't hit them that hard, but rock guys do, and I assume that you like rock and roll. We're going to work on that too. I'm going to get sold with some jazz, baby. All right, so everything seems to look pretty comfortable. Now, right now these drums are not tuned the way I would like them. I think the snare might be all right. Yeah, the snare is good. So I'm going to tune the tom 1, 2, and 3 just a little bit. Rack tom 1, rack tom 2, and floor tom because it sits on the floor tom. Now there are floor toms that mount off the cymbal, and that would be called a tom 3. In this case, because it's standing on the floor, we call it a floor tom. So let's check the tuning. And this is to have 2 takes, like cooking. That sounds pretty good. And I like to check the snare and tom 1. That's close. And that floor tom is it's actually a big floor tom. This is a 16. I like a 14. It's behind the 14. because it's not as far away in diameter. So I'm gonna tighten it up a little bit, see how it sounds. Almost done. Yes, because I'm gonna tighten the bottom head a little bit, then I'm gonna loosen the top. The other thing I would say about tuning the drums, when you change the heads, you want all of the tension rods to be the same. You want to torque them about the same, and you can do that by feel. When you put the new head on, you want to kind of try to tighten each one the same amount until you get the sound, the desired tone that you're looking for in a drum. So, a couple of things I want to show you also. This very beginning stuff is like the two different ways to hold the sticks. I assume you're right-handed, based on how I saw you playing, you look like a right-handed drummer. So there's two ways. There's traditional, where you're holding the stick in the right hand between the thumb and the index finger, and then you're wrapping your fingers around it, but you're not holding it tight. You want the stick to move. This is the fulcrum here, and then you're keeping the stick from flying out of your hand with the rest of your fingers. And that's how you hold the right hand. Now, traditionally, in the left hand, the stick goes between your thumb and your index finger, right in that little web there, and then it rests on top of your ring finger and your little finger, which are bent, and then you gently bring your index finger and your middle finger over, up and down. That's the way I learned to play, and that's a lot of jazz guys still do play that way, and also a lot of guys play it both ways. The other way is called match grip, and you're basically matching your hands. Now you're making the left hand and the right hand look the same. You're about 3/4 way down the stick, and then just a little bit of the butt of the stick is outside of your hands. And the technique is up and down, and you're using your wrist. You don't want to use your arms. Your arms are used for taking your hands where you want them to go. But if you're using your arms, it inhibits your ability to get around the kit effectively. So that's also important. So I like match grip, and that's what I saw you doing. So we're gonna work with the match grip. All right.